Alright guys, so I got some extremely bad news. My phone got stolen.
Yep, it's official. This weekend kind of sucks. The Indianapolis Colts came back and squeaked one out on my Green Bay Packers. And no Nintendo Junkie Saturday because the game man Dan's phone got stolen. Gotta say, this weekend, not the tops. Package here for Michael B. the Game Genie. Hey, excellent. I've been waiting for a couple packages from eBay. Let's see what it is. I think I know what this is. I think this is the phone I ordered from eBay. Let's check it out. Yeah, very cool. It's my brand new phone. Wait a minute. It's actually still active. You're not going to believe this. This is the Game Man Dan's phone. Oh my god. We finally figured out where it's to. Hey Dan, how are you? Yeah, this is Mike. Michael B. the Game Genie? From YouTube? You know, the guy that responds to all your videos? Your biggest fan? Yeah, that's me, the guy you have the restraining order against. Anyways, you're never going to believe this. I ordered a phone off eBay, and when it got here, it turned out it was your phone. Yeah, I know, that's awesome. I'll tell you what, man, I'll send it back to you right away so you can get the newest episode of Nintendo Junkie Saturday up. Well, I live in Canada, so it's going to take about a week or so to get it back. Yeah, I'm sorry, there's not much else I can do. Well, anyways, I'll mail it out. I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Man, that sucks. Because I ended up with the Game Man Dan's phone, you can't do a Nintendo Junkie Saturday till next week. I wish there was something I could do about that. Maybe. As they say in show business, the show must go on. Hi everyone, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'm going to be filling in for the Game Man Dan today for Nintendo Junkie Saturday. Unfortunately, due to Dan's phone issue, he isn't able to make this week's episode, but I can't tell you how honored and thrilled I am to actually be filling in. I've been a huge fan of this series going all the way back to when Junkie 3 was still doing it. Then Junkie 3 gave it up, and I couldn't have been more excited that my good friend and one of my favorite YouTubers, the Game Man Dan, was going to be taking over. And I'm just going to tell you, and Dan, this is just a personal note, I think you're doing an amazing job so far. I really enjoy the show, and I can't believe that I'm going to be doing this week's episode. One benefit I have that the Game Man Dan doesn't is I don't really have a whole lot of problem with getting some help. I actually have, believe it or not, a foreign exchange student/intern that's actually living with me. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my producer for the day, Raymond Rougeau. Raymond, why don't you say hello to everybody?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Raymond.
So Raymond, are you a big fan of video games?
None.
Okay, so Raymond, do you know anything about video games or anything about the show?
No.
Okay, Raymond, so how are you with video editing?
No.
Well, I guess that's going to have to do. Anyways, let's start the show off with this week's video response. So guys, this week's video response goes out to Mr. Dude 206, who's one of my absolute favorite people here on YouTube. And he just hit 200 subscribers, so he's holding a 200 subscriber contest. The rules of the contest are you have to be subscribed to his channel, and you have to do a video response to his 200 subscriber special video. And what he wants to know is he wants you to ask him a question about him, gaming, non-gaming related, and he also wants you to tell him about a bad or sucky game that you've played. Well, anybody who's watched any of my videos before, you know immediately what I'm going to suggest. Probably one of the games that I absolutely hate the most of all the games I've ever played is, in fact, Echo the Dolphin, The Tides of Time. And, in fact, the original Echo the Dolphin. I just absolutely do not like these games. I remember seeing the first commercials for Echo the Dolphin, and it just looked incredible the way the commercial portrayed it. But when I actually played it, I don't know why, I absolutely hate the game. I just don't like it. But that's because it's not a Nintendo product. And I can safely say there's not a single Nintendo game that I think is sucky or bad. I take that back. There is one Nintendo game that I absolutely can't stand, and that is Back to the Future Part 1 and 2. So, Mr. Dude, if you want to know about a really, really bad Nintendo game, give this a try. This is, in my opinion, probably one of the worst games ever produced for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I don't even think I have to give a reason. I don't believe I have to give a reason at all. Just play it. I dare anybody to play it and tell me it's a good game. Alright, Mr. Dude, so the question I want to ask you, I'm going to keep it gaming related. Every single person has that holy grail or necessary item in their collection that they absolutely have to have. For me, obviously, you know what I'm going to say. It's my NES top loader. And actually, I've got one brand new and complete in the box up there, so I in fact have two top loaders. It was essential that I pick this up for my collection. So, Mr. Dude, I want to know, what is your holy grail item? The item that you absolutely have to have. So everybody, I want you to go check out Mr. Dude 206's channel. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Raymond, what are you doing? You can't smoke in here. This is a no smoking building.
Non? Pourquoi?
Look, Raymond, you're working here for 3 hours. You're not entitled to any kind of 15-minute cigarette break. Why don't you just put the cigarette away, let's get our work done, and then you can go out afterwards.
Est-ce que je peux aller de toilette, s'il vous plaît?
Fine, fine. The bathroom's just down the hall.
Oui, merci beaucoup.
Oh, this is gonna be a long, long day. Man, I love the quick review. You always get to see so many great, amazing games that the great viewers of the Game Man Dan get to pick for. Let's see what amazing game you've chosen for me to play this week. Raymond? McKids. Seriously? Seriously? Thanks, guys. Thanks, this is fun. I think I voted for McKids too, but that was when I was under the presumption that the Game Man Dan would have to play it. Anyways, the winner this week, McKids. Let's play McKids.
This game is actually not all that bad. Now, while the storyline was definitely not written by Stephen King or any great author, it actually is a bad storyline. I'm not going to joke around with you there. There's not a whole lot to it. Ronald Poole loses something out of his magic bag, and basically the story progresses from there. You're a child, and you have to run through Ronald's playground and collect different cards. Once you've collected enough cards, you bring them back to Ronald, and he will actually let you progress throughout the level. Where this game actually starts to be a little bit fun is in the gameplay mechanics themselves. If anybody's ever played Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, the gameplay mechanics are very similar. Now I'm going to be careful by saying similar because they're actually slowed down extremely or dumbed down, so your character can move at a very slow rate. However, it's the same mechanic. You pick up objects to throw them at your enemies, and basically you collect items throughout the level. Overall, not a bad game or a terrible game like it's made out to seem, but not a great game. It's definitely playable. I'll definitely try McKids again.
You know what, guys? Actually, McKids, not that bad a game. Like I said earlier, it's a lot like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, just a really slowed down and dumbed down version. Anyways, not horrible. Tell you the truth, out of all those games, what I really would have liked to play was Afterburner. But I actually don't really like the NES version of Afterburner. I actually prefer it for the Sega Master System. What's that, Mario? let me get this straight. I have to pay $1 every time I say the S word? Alright. We're in Canada. Dollars are coins, my friend. Alright guys, so your choices for next week for the game Man Dan to play are, I'm actually going to be a really nice guy and give him some very favorable choices. First of all, you can vote for Kirby's Adventure on the NES, which is a great game. Or, you could get Dan to play one of my absolute favorite games, Bubble Bobble. This is actually a game that he had highlighted as one of the choices before on Nintendo Junkie Saturday that I voted for, but never got around to reviewing, but I'd love to see it for the quick review, and that is Jackal by Konami. And last but not least, the original creator of the show's favorite game, Bionic Commando. So guys, put in the comments below what game you want to see for the quick review next week. So guys, that's it for Nintendo Junkie Saturday. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I apologize if you were tuning in to see the game Man Dan, but hopefully I kept the tradition alive and well. Don't worry about it, Dan's going to be back next week, hopefully. Well, I gotta tell you, I had a great time hosting Nintendo Junkie Saturday this week, and, you know, it's funny to look back on it. A year ago this time, I was just watching Nintendo Junkie Tuesday for the first time, and I was just amazed with the episode. And here I am a year later, and I'm actually doing an episode. I can't believe it. Who knows what great adventures life will take us on? In fact, who knows what's going to happen next?
Mike, I'm in a race with the Nazis to discover the lost civilization of Atlantis. I need the amulet your grandfather gave you.
Here we go again. Alright, so it seems like I'm off to find the lost continent of Atlantis. But it feels like I'm forgetting something.